Shinen is a developer that has made a good name for themselves on Nintendo platforms, so it was interesting to see them having a launch title ready, even if it is just a remaster of the Wii U game with DLC included. I can say with certainty this is a game that is made much better given the Switch's hardware. A few days after the Switch released, bad storms came through and knocked out my power, and I spent the night playing fast RMX in the dark. It is a wonderful feeling to have this game in your hands whenever you want it, and to be able to share it with anyone. The game has great performance, and is the best example of what the Switch can do, running smoothly with impressive clarity. This, however, is also a great multiplayer game that focuses on forcing in a single player component. If you wanted to immediately go in and race with somebody, you will have about 9 tracks to choose from, and only a couple vehicles. If you want to play any other tracks, you will have to get second or better in single player cups. The game isn't too hard initially, so this isn't too much of an inconvenience. But the last 5 or so cups on the easiest difficulty can be frustrating if you are trying to rush through so you can race on the final set of tracks with your friends. This is when the AI starts rubber banding anytime you reach 3rd place, and it wasn't uncommon to spend most of the race in first, only to have the 2nd place guy crash into me from out of nowhere, spin me out, and the rest of the pack keep me spinning in place, and then have a hazard destroy me and guarantee I'd finish last. The hazards also pose an issue in that they are usually poorly telegraphed, and will likely get you on your first time or two playing each track. If this was optional, I wouldn't care, but since multiplayer content is locked behind it, it becomes a problem and a chore. If you like even more content, you have a one-shot boost his life mode that is thankfully optional. Multiplayer also allows you to have CPU drivers, although the game is more fun with 2 to 4 racers. The full number can make portions feel overly crowded and introduce the aforementioned coordinated AI persecution. You must also complete the cups again if you want to play the tracks in a faster league. The track design is also a little inconsistent, with some tracks being quite bland and simplistic, and others having new and interesting mechanics and more unique track design. There were times I felt like I was playing a mix of 2 previous tracks with a new coat of visual paint. Even the best tracks aren't quite up to par with F-Zero X or GX though. Occasionally, I also felt that I would crash after a jump even though I landed pretty squarely on normal track. As a multiplayer game, this is one of your strongest choices despite track design that peaks at very good, and the main content being locked behind a single player mode that can feel extremely cheap at times. I recommend the game at least until Mario Kart, and to anybody who likes fast sci-fi racing like this. For an arbitrary number, I'd give this an 8. Solid 8.